the Eleatics, their absolute monism, the pluralists who pose the mechanism versus teleology question. And the reading that you're doing will put the flesh on these bones. The structure is important. Now, what I want to underscore is the kind of question that these people are raising. We think of Thales as about 600 BC. Okay, Thales about 600 BC. By the time we get down to Socrates, we're about 400 BC. So we've got essentially a 200-year span in which the pre-Socratics are at work. 200-year span. In which, in effect, they are formulating the philosophical agenda that Western philosophy has worked with ever since. They are formulating a philosophical agenda that Western philosophy has worked with ever since. Now, maybe you're inclined to ask, well, why should we take their agenda? Well, the thing is that it is so interwoven into Western thought patterns in every discipline, not just in philosophy, in every discipline. For the simple reason that the later sciences emerged as spin-offs from philosophy. You see. Have you noticed how your science professors have Doctor of Philosophy degrees? And many of them never saw the inside of a philosophy classroom, except for people like Dr. Chappell here, who audits philosophy courses. Bless her heart. You see? Simply because natural philosophy, so-called, philosophy of nature, natural philosophy, the sort of thing that these guys are doing, is the seedbed out of which the empirical and mathematical sciences develop subsequently. You see. If you take Dr. Spradley's courses in the history of science, you'll find that the history of science up through, approximately the Renaissance, is essentially one strain of what we do in the history of philosophy. You see. And then you begin to get the development of astronomy and physics, independently of philosophy, later of chemistry, and of biology. Sociology doesn't begin until the mid-19th century. Psychology as a science not until early 20th century, as late as 1910. What's now the Journal of Philosophy was called the Journal of Philosophy, Psychology, Scientific Method, etc. I know that's a mouthful, but that's the way it was. So the agenda that is created, you see, for the pre-Socratics was carried on in natural philosophy in ancient and medieval times and transmitted into modern times. So that in a sense, the question we're asking is still, what are the basic elements? Or if not basic elements, what's the basic stuff? You see? Whether you want protons or quarks, take your choice. We're still asking the same kinds of questions. And how do you describe the causal processes and the causal forces at work that produce change? You see? Same type of questions. But what is that agenda? What is that agenda? And I think you can see pretty clearly that it's the kind of agenda that you should have been introduced to, more or less, in your introductory course.